What's the one thing that really holds everything together? Our relationships, our trust, even our technology? Well, it's a pretty simple concept, but it has some seriously profound implications. It's called fidelity, and today we're going to dive into what it really means to keep your word. So let's just jump right in with a big question for you. In a world that is always changing, always in flux, what does it actually mean to make a promise and really stick to it? It sounds so simple, right? But as we're about to find out, it's a lot more complicated than you might think. Okay, so before we can really get into the whole idea of a promise, we kind of have to back up a step. We need to nail down the concept it's all built on, and that brings us to our first stop. Let's define fidelity. So if you just look it up, fidelity is pretty straightforward. It's about being faithful, being accurate. Basically, it's about being true to something or someone, making sure that what's being represented is an exact match to the original. And this is what's so cool about it. The idea is huge. It's everywhere. I mean, think about it. It's the loyalty you have to your partner, right? But it's also about your duty to your country. And, get this, it's even about how your TV reproduces a picture accurately. High-fidelity audio, right? It all comes back to the same thing, being faithful to the source. Okay, so we've got this big, broad definition. But where this gets really interesting, and honestly, where it matters most to us, is when we zoom in on the most personal form of fidelity there is, the human promise. And we've got to make a really important distinction here. See, keeping your word, it's not like stopping at a red light. That's just a rule for everybody. It's impersonal. A promise is totally different. It's this unique bond, this trust that's literally built out of thin air, just with words, between two people. It's so personal. And because it's so personal, when that bond breaks, man, the fallout is just huge. It's not just about someone being disappointed. A broken promise can absolutely shatter trust. And trying to piece that back together, it's incredibly hard. Sometimes you just can't. Okay, so if promises are this important, this critical, then why do they get broken all the time? It doesn't make sense, right? Well, that brings us to the real conflict here. It's all about the weight of our words. This right here, this is the reason everything can fall apart. Just imagine this super simple promise. I'll call you later. We've all said it, right? But for person A, maybe they've been let down before. So for them, those words are heavy. It's a test. Can I count on you? But for person B, it might just be a casual, yeah, maybe I'll call. You see, the exact same words, but they live in two totally different universes of meaning. And that's the whole problem in a nutshell. We think a promise should be this solid, absolute thing that means the same to everyone. But it's not. Our past experiences, our baggage, it makes the whole thing subjective. And that little gap between what I mean and what you hear, that's where trust goes to die. So if words can be this shifty, this subjective, then how can we ever really trust anyone? There has to be a better way, right? A better test to figure out what someone's intentions truly are. Well, turns out there is. Our source calls it the fail-safe. It's this one simple mechanism that just cuts through all the noise, all the ambiguity of words. And what is it? It's just one word: consistency. That's it. That's the ultimate proof. It's not about what you say, it's about your actions, over and over again, backing up those words and making them mean something. So how does this actually work? Well, it's this really simple, but man, it's a powerful little loop. Step 1, someone makes a promise. Step 2, their actions actually match what they said. Step 3, and this is the absolute key, they do it again and again and again. And then finally, step 4, through all that repetition, trust isn't just a blind guess anymore. It's verified, it's proven. And all of this brings us to the big takeaway, maybe the most important part of this whole thing: how this simple idea of consistency becomes the actual blueprint for building trust that lasts. I absolutely love this quote. It just hits the nail on the head. It reminds us that trust isn't about some big, grand gesture. That's not how it works. It's built with all the little things, the tiny bricks you lay every single day, when you just choose to show up, to be consistent. And to wrap it all up, the source leaves us with this really powerful image. Think about this. Being that consistent person, the one who keeps their word, it's like being the only person holding an umbrella in a sudden rainstorm while everyone else is running for cover. You become that point of stability. You become reliable. In a crazy, chaotic world, you become shelter for other people. So, we're back where we started. It's not really about what you say, is it? It's about what you do, consistently, day in and day out. So the only real question left is the one you have to ask yourself. Are you showing up